my Insta live. So, Priya, can you switch on your camera because I'm not able to see
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Yeah,
Just
I'm
turn
just
off
doing
your
it right
camera.
away.
Yes. So, thank you all for joining my Insta live. Let me introduce myself first. Well, my name is Arpita Chatterjee, and I embarked my professional journey at the age of 19, at a very young age of 19, as a receptionist. And then over the decade of over the course of 2 decades, I learned from different, mentors and experience different, experiences, like a lot of growth I got, and eventually I have reaching the position of business head. So this throughout this journey was remarkable journey. I have learned from distinguished mentor, and definitely I honed my skills and knowledge. And for past 2.5 year, I was learning from eminent mentors and coaches. I'm closely working with the coaches, and then I became a certified mindset and life coach. So even I have started my own coaching journey. I have designed a beautiful program called Redesign Your Life, which will be starting by 15th of September. So this throughout this remarkable journey, I thought that why not I can share all my wisdom and knowledge with others, and that's the reason I have started all this Insta live. Like the purpose of Insta live is, of course, every week we are discussing on some topic, so that you can get to know that you can also understand that nothing is impossible in this world. So I just check that Priya. Okay, so today I invited in my Insta live Priya, who is an emotional intelligence coach. So welcome Priya Darshini to my Insta live. Thank you
Thank you
so much for
so much.
joining, and
Yeah.
please share something about you and your journey as an emotional intelligence coach.
Okay. So can you all hear me and see me?
Yes,
I
yes.
had a difficulty with the camera. Yes,
So
right? Okay, fine.
you are completely audible.
Okay, great. Um, Hi, I'm Priyadarshini. I'm an emotional intelligence coach. I'm also an counseling psychologist. So the journey all started for personal reasons, actually. Basically, I'm an engineer. I was working in an MNC, in an IT company as a professional, as a test analyst. And then I started preparing for civil service examination, completely a different area. And then I cleared my preliminary level. After then, I was not able to pursue due to various reasons. That was the lowest point in my life because all that I knew at that point was my ambition, my aim, what I'm going to do with respect to my exams, all that. When that did not happen, and there were huge responsibilities on my personal side, like my family, I had a baby by then. All that took a toll on me, so I was very low. At that point in time, I realized that I just contemplated on things that were happening. And then I thought I had been a high achiever from my school time. I was a topper in engineering. I was a gold medalist. I was able to do anything I desired. I was literally designing my life till one point. And suddenly, I could see that nothing was in my own way. Of course, I had people in my new people in my life, but suddenly what shifted? Okay, I was pondering on that over and over and over because I was not able to come out of that low point. I had no future. I couldn't see anything beyond that point. So when I was thinking about this, I just suddenly realized that all these years, even when I was studying, no, I did not have this concept of doing it for myself. Actually, I did well in my exams because I would get good name. My teachers will praise me, appreciate me. My parents will validate me. So I was doing it for that, but still I was doing well. Okay, I didn't know whether I liked it or not. I did that. Okay, but now, no, when I had other responsibilities, I had to serve others in my family. I had a child to take care of. I was not able to balance everything when my environment changed, and when it was not conductive. I was not able to balance my emotions. My EQ level was very, very low. And when things did not turn up in my way, it took a huge toll on me. I couldn't handle it. Okay, so I just became very toxic. I got frustrated. I became very angry because nothing is happening in my own way, and I felt I was giving from morning till evening. I was only giving it to others. Where is the time for me? Kind of feeling. So at that point only I realized that I was very low in my EQ levels, in my emotional level. I was not able to balance myself. Forget about relationship with others. Okay, so at that point I thought, okay, I have to improve. So the change should always come from us. Okay, if we want to change something in our life, we should take that 100% responsibility so that something in the environment will change. So I took 100% responsibility. I started off with just free resources that were available to improve my EQ level, like taking up small courses, watching videos, reading articles and blogs, watching documentaries on EQ and emotional intelligence. And then slowly I took up free courses from online, and then took up very cheap, small courses. And then I did a diploma in emotional intelligence, emotional life coach from an institution. And then I did my life coaching. My life coaching journey started after that. I were under various teachers, like Pooja Puneet is my main mentor, and then I had studied from Dr. Meghna Dikshit and various mentors and trainers. And then I upskilled my levels in EQ and in life coaching, and then I slowly started practicing, started helping people on one-to-one, and then on group workshops and emotional intelligence. So one-to-one, I train them in any area, kind of like relationship coaching or stress management, fear management, or simply building your EQ level, building your competencies, increasing your productivity and focus and all. And in my workshops, I handle students, college students, on preparation, exam preparation, strategies in exam preparation, and then fear and stress management. And then I handle women also on work-life balance, working women, how to balance their work as well as the family and stuff. And it's going on. This is my journey as a coach.
That's awesome. That's beautiful journey you have.
Thank
So,
you.
Priya, today we are discussing a very sensitive topic, that is how to handle emotions. So, once again, thank you all who has joined our Insta live, and you are feel free to ask as many questions as you want, so that we can give our best possible answer. So, Priya, that the way you have said that, in certain point of time you become very toxic because of this emotion. You don't know how to handle the emotion. Same goes to me also. Even I shared this story too in my Insta live also. So again, I'm sharing with you because I also face the same kind of problem, because when we were three sisters. I was the youngest one, and when I was studying in first or second standard, maybe my mother has shared that my father has not seen my face because I'm a girl, because he expecting a boy. Like that is a old time. It's always happened that the people always expected a boy, and that is also we are three because of this reason only, because he expecting a boy. So that day, age of I think 6 or 7 years old girl has decided that I am from today onward I am a boy. I'm not a girl. I'm a girl. I'm a boy. So I'm just started feeling that I'm a boy, and I'm behaving also like a boy. Like I always started doing lot of things which one boy do. I've become a tomboy kind of a person. A lot of time I feel like crying, but I always stop myself by saying that boys never cry, and I'm a boy. So, but that all experience, that all, in that becomes certain point, it become a trauma, because I have, suppressed my lot of emotions, and my feminine energy goes out and more of masculine energy. So somewhere I felt, and down the line, that I'm not that person whom I have spent a lot of years. I'm a different personality.
Exactly.
I have spent, and that gives that holded lot of grudges, like holded lot of traumas. Like I took lot of time to process that emotion. Of course, Pooja Puneet, my mentor, she's also my mentor. She has helped me a lot to process all my emotions, all my bad emotions and all. So what I feel, and I would like to ask my first question to you is that what as a for parent, what suggestion you want to give as an emotional intelligent coach, that how they can identify that their children are actually facing some emotional problem? Because what I felt in my childhood, maybe my parents are not know better, so they could not able to understand that I'm facing some emotional trauma, I'm facing some childhood. They have not even understood that, because maybe they don't know, they are not aware of that. So that's why they could not identify it. If they could identify it in a very early stage, then maybe I will not suffer all those emotional traumas, because that developed a lot of anger issue in me. I used to react, I get hurt very easily. So I believe that the parents need to be very, very aware, so, and they need to be very take care of each and everything about their child, about their child's activity. So as an emotional intelligent coach, what you suggest, which are the common emotions that need to be identified, and that need to check that it will convert in our behavior or our thought process. So as what you are going to suggest the parents, that how to identify those emotions in their child?
Okay. So actually, this is a very deep question, because it takes time to explain. It's actually whole process, because it's a whole journey, both to the parent and to the child. Because as a parent, no, we also grow along with the child. Different phases we also go through. And anything that is unresolved in us, our children should also go through, they say. Okay, if we have to face something to build our courage, if we did not do that, our children have to do. So it is a journey for both the parent and the child. So when it comes to the children, no, when we see psychologically, when we see the development of a child, there are stages like 0 to 3 years, 3 to 6, 6 to 12, like that. There are stages, and in every stage there is a development, and if that specific development doesn't happen, then there is a consequence that's happening. In that stage, it has to get resolved. If it is not resolved in that stage of development, then they have some problem. As an adult also, they have some problem, because as a child, no, even when they are 6, 7, 8 years old also, their logical brain would not have developed. Sometimes kids know they operate only from their emotional center. So that's why they throw tantrums. And then sometimes they can't understand the time factor and all. For example, if they ask something, we say that we will get you, but in some time they will not understand. I want it now, because they do not know that time factor exists only. Okay, like this, in every stage there is one small factor that's developing, and when we are not very keen, and when we do not know how that development is happening, when we do not understand the child, instead of supporting them, if you're going against them, why you're doing like this, why are you so angry, frustrated for silly things, and then if we are starting to label the child, you are arrogant, you're getting angry, when we are labeling them, in that mode, they are just observing, and the programming is happening in their minds. Okay, so it's like programming, writing a CD. The brain is playing, it's a clean sheet of paper, 0 to 7 years. What happens is, whatever we say, no, the child doesn't have any control over the environment. The child only processes whatever it is observing, and it's going to get programmed. It is conditioning, clear conditioning actually. The major influence is from the parents, and then teachers, then television, movie, neighbors, all that. Okay, so what happens is, when this conditioning happening, we have to be very careful to give them a conductive environment that is very loving, caring, and it is empowering to them. They should be able to exercise their freedom. So only then the consequences or the conflicts will not happen during their development. Every stage will be very smooth. It will move on very smooth. And then when we unintentionally, I don't say parents do it deliberately or they want to do it, because we did not have the education of all this. We did not learn EQ in our schools. Our parents, just imagine it's applied for us. Just imagine our own parents, no? They did not know. They did what they knew. Okay, and with respect to us also, we do what we know. Right, and we do not know what's happening in our child's development, in their brain development, the schemes that's happening, nothing. So what happens is, when we do not know anything also, if we just listen to the child, okay, and put us in their shoe, what is that they are going through? If they are going through big emotions, if we acknowledge instead of asking them stop crying, boys don't cry, all that, instead of doing all that, labeling them, if we acknowledge, okay, I totally understand, and then this is acknowledging, and then when we say that I have also gone through all these, they will realize that okay, this is not abnormal, it's happening for everyone. That is the kind of acknowledgement we are giving them, we are validating them. And then when we move on, we have to teach them to label their emotions. Like I'm feeling, sometimes kids doesn't even know that how they feel. Is it happiness? Because, for example, if a kid is brought up in a very abusive environment, the parents are always fighting, or one parent is very abusive verbally or even physically, if the child is exposed to that kind of environment, definitely the child is not going to be normal like other child. Okay, so like one of my mentors always used to say, when the child is brought up in a garden, okay, when the child knows smell of the garden only, it will be able, he or she will be able to differentiate the smell of a ditch. Okay, if the child knows only the smell of the ditch or the filth, okay, when they will not know the difference when something abusive happening for them in the outside world also. That's how abuses happen to the very young children, because if they are already abused at home indirectly, if they see that very on a daily basis, they will not know the difference if it is happening outside. So in that way, we should teach them to label their emotions. Like now I'm feeling sad. How will you, like using emojis or making them to journal it. How do you feel? Or showing them the pictures of sad face, happy face, frustrated face, disgusting face, all that surprise expression, all that we have to teach them the emotions. That's why in recent times, no, some schools are doing it already. In my daughter is in her senior KG. They have a separate month for emotions. They teach them what is happiness, what is sadness, and how will you express it. And when you are not having good mood, how will you communicate it to a parent or to your teachers? So all these, when it has become a normal household terms in the home, and if they know that, then when they are growing up, they will communicate it. If there is anything different, abnormal, they will be able to communicate it to the parent, whoever they are comfortable with.
Yeah,
Can you hear
that's
me?
true.
Yeah. So that is,
Hello. Yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely right. You said correctly. And, I have what you said about the labeling, that is very, very true. And I've experienced that. What happened that by God gifted, I was a lefty. Right? I always write in left hand, but because of the cultural conditioning, and people around told my mother that लड़की है, लड़की अपशकुन होता है अगर बाएं हाथ से लिखेगी, बाद में जाके बहुत प्रॉब्लम होगी, शादी में प्रॉब्लम होगी. तो they told my mother, you need to take the practice karao कि सीधा हाथ से लिखे. So that maybe my parents didn't understand, but it affected me even very badly, because that's the reason I flunked in my first standard. Because of this reason, I got a lot of psychological problem, and that exactly I feel because nowadays, because the teachers are more aware, parents are more aware, because nowadays, of course, there are more awareness by YouTube and a lot of things that people are actually aware of all these problems, that emotional problems. But awareness is definitely is important. As my mentor always said, the 4 A's are the most important thing in our life. If you really want to transform your life or really want to change your life, that is, first is awareness, second is acceptance, third is, of course, adherence, and fourth is, of course, action. Then obviously you have to take the action once you're aware and when you accept the thing. That is very important. That if when you understood you have some problem, emotional problem, you have to take help. That is very important. But most of the time people face problem, people face depression or something, but they don't take help. They feel that okay, that's natural, but it's not natural. Even a lot of time, even we feel that a lot of time, like when I have started this self-development journey, I was not aware that anger issue is a problem. I thought, I okay, everyone is getting angry, because maybe I've seen a lot of people around me who are angry. So I felt it's a common, it's a natural thing. But it's not natural. You have to take a help from other, that this is something that you need to work on it. Like once I joined my mentor, when I started this self-development journey, they have beautifully, they have shared a lot of tools and technique which is really helping me to release all this emotion. Like journaling is a beautiful method. If my mentor has taught us that three letter procedure, like first you have to write a letter for those person with whom you have a grudges, and then you release that when you tear that letter, and then you write one letter in front of other person point of view. Then another beautiful method that my mentor has taught, that is FSFA method, that is fact, story, feeling, action. So you have to change the story. Like same, like I have changed my story with my parents. Like if they knew better, they know better. Like hurt people. Of course, if they are already hurt, that's why they're hurting others. So this kind of story, when you change, then definitely it works. And then there are a lot of healing technique also, like Ho'oponopono technique. Like if you do like I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you, or Sedona method, EFT method, a lot of techniques that it can help to heal the emotions, heal all kind of emotions. So what are the techniques you feel that is the effective technique to heal all these emotions of hurt, anger, resentful, or guilt, or jealousy? What technique you suggest to people?
I actually generally use FSFA the most, because I feel that FSFA is the most impactful technique tool, because even in my own life, whenever something goes wrong, I change the story. Actually, I reframe it, create a new sentence, so that it is not disempowering, it is empowering. So in any client who is coming to me on their healing journey, first, with respect to healing, we have to acknowledge that it's happened. Okay, there should, when we are trying to design our life in our own way, there should be an element of surrender also. We cannot operate from that space of anxiety where I want this should happen, I have to come out of it, I have to do this, that. And when there's too much of obsessiveness towards anything you want, then you will not enjoy the process. Okay, all that matters is enjoying the process. Okay, it is important what you do every day to reach that goal. Okay, so in that way, always I say that make peace with your past. We cannot do anything with that, so we have to take that as a feedback. Whatever negative emotions we have, guilt or whatever it is, so what is the lesson I have learned from this? I ask them to journal it, write it down. What are the lessons? What are that I'm not going to repeat from what has happened? And change the way you respond. Reframe the whole story. Change the way you respond. Do not react, just respond. So that you get your desired output. Because the event is always the same. The output, if we want the output to be in our own way, we all that we have in our hands is the response we give to that specific event or to that specific person. So I always suggest that just take a pause and then respond to any situation for that matter. So with respect to healing, when it comes to healing, first acceptance is important. We have to accept and then move on. And then I will ask them to create a new story, brand new story. This is the whole story. Create a new story and align with that new story more and more when we are living in that new alignment. For example, if you want to be more consistent, if you want to be more productive, just see yourself as that best version of yourself and eat, sleep, walk, breathe as that person. So that more you are into that every now and then, definitely we'll go off track. That's all. That's for sure. It's going to be there. Okay. When we are going off track, we have to forgive ourselves, be kind to us, and then come back. Give yourself 24 hours or 48 hours time, and then come back. Be consistent. Align with the same best version of yourself. And then more and more you get aligned, more and more you take simple, small actions. And when you accomplish, you build confidence. Okay, I'm becoming that person. I'm becoming that new version. So when you accept the fact, when you take small risk, achieve, and build confidence, eventually one day when you look into the mirror, you will look into that new version of you, not that old cribbing or worrying or that traumatic face. You will see a new face in the mirror. That's how it happens, and it's a journey. I always say it takes time. Transformation takes time, healing takes time, and in between there'll be U-turn also. You'll go back. It's like a smoker giving up smoking. When you see the trigger again in your life, maybe that even memories or that person or that place, anything, when it comes back, again you're going to go U-turn. That all that you need is the never give up attitude. You have to again travel that path, accept yourself, contemplate. All this confusion will happen. Finally, one day transformation will happen.
Very true. Practice makes a man perfect.
Right.
And my mentor always says it takes a lot of effort to be effortless. Like obviously, if you start something, it takes like consistently at least 21 days if you do, and then your commitment muscle will improve, and then of course 30 days and 60 days, then it will be a normal new normal. Like you don't need to work hard to do that. So Siraj, you are asking about the FSFA method. I'm repeating the thing. FSFA, the full form of FSFA is F means fact, then FS means again story, and then again F means feeling, and then A means action. So what we are trying to say is about FSFA method means like whenever you have certain wrong things happening. For example, if I give an example, like when I was initially when I got married, like initial stage, like my husband also working in the CP, I'm also working in the CP, and our timing of returning back is also almost same time. Like most of the time we connect and we can enter in the same thing. So let's say in a house, then I've seen that my mother-in-law always give water and any snacks or anything to my husband, not me. So I felt very bad, and I felt a lot of resentment in my in my things. And then when I discussed this thing, and then I discussed with my mother, she told that in her life when she was as a bahu, no one has done with her same thing she has experienced. Like her mother-in-law also only give food to her husband, like my father-in-law, not her. So that's the reason she felt that it's okay. So then I changed the story in a new story. Okay, so that means for her, she don't have any ill feeling for me. Personally, she don't have any ill feeling. That's her. She don't know even that same like if she knew better, she know better. So if she don't know that, for her this is a normal activity. For me, I felt bad because it's my thinking. So that's why when I changed my story, I feel no, my mother-in-law don't have any ill feeling. But before that, my wrong story was that my mother-in-law not loving me. Mother-in-law, all mother-in-law like this, sab saas bahu aise hi hote hain, the difference. So that's why I'm cripping myself because of my own thought process, not because my mother-in-law is wrong. So that's why, Siraj, what we are trying to say is that FSFA method is a beautiful method. Whenever you have any kind of things you have kept in your mind, either you can communicate with that person and you can explain, you can understand their perspective, or else if you feel that no, you don't want to communicate, at least you can grow your heart and don't judge that person. Grow your heart and change your story. You can change your story according to your you can say your way, like to which makes you feel happy, so that you don't feel that that kind of vibration you will not spread to that person. That exactly is the FSFA all about. So Priya, what I want to ask is that emotion is definitely the most important thing in life, and emotion is something that is never been like same, like obviously same like weather, like समर के बाद ऑब्वियसली विंटर आएगा, विंटर के बाद स्प्रिंग आएगा, स्प्रिंग के बाद आएगा ही आएगा. तो सेम लाइक इमोशन भी आप हमेशा खुश नहीं रह सकते. हम हमेशा दुखी नहीं रह सकते. It will be always changing. But the problem is that whenever the person is in a negative state of mind, they dwell on the negative, right? And they keep thinking negative, and that becomes very mental illness, like you can say hallucination or depression or anxiety. These kind of things happen when you are consistently, like continuously thinking negative thoughts. So how, as the emotional intelligent coach, what suggestion you give when they are in a loop of negativity? What they need to do apart from this FSW, changing the story? Any other idea you want to give so that they instantly change their emotions?
Okay, so actually, the key to emotional intelligence, the first step, step number one is awareness. Okay, as you said, no, we should be, most of the time, most of the people, they not even know that they are in this loop. Okay, so they do not know that they are in this spiral of negative emotion. It will be happening to them. They will not realize. So the moment they realize, no, is the moment, is the first step is already over when they realize that it's happening to them. So awareness is the key. And from then on, they have to start noticing their emotion and start to regulate their emotion. For example, there's a beautiful technique called journaling our emotional transformation. It's called a transformation log. So what I ask my clients to do is, those who are not aware of their emotional turmoil that they're undergoing, I will ask them to journal. For example, keep a random alarms. Okay, this is one powerful technique. Keep random alarms every 2 hours or 1 hour, like how you want to track your emotions. And the number should not be a very frequent number, so that you get to know that, okay, alarm is going to ring. It should be like, for example, morning 10:15, next it should be like 12:17, 2:37. Like that, you should not know that when the alarm is going to ring. Okay, like that, just remind yourself, and when the alarm goes on, you have to just think on in what emotion are you there right now in that current moment. Okay, journal it out. Take a notebook or a diary. The time, date, time, and then emotion. Are you sad? Are you happy? Are you frustrated, angry, disgusted? All that. So name the emotion, and then in the next column, write it. Is it a positive, negative, or neutral? Sometimes you will be washing your clothes. Okay, there's nothing, there's no emotional attachment there. So that is neutral. Okay, so you have to see whether it is empowering or disempowering or a neutral emotion. So in a day, if you're going to do it 10 times, see how many times you are on positive emotional level, how many times you're negative. So when you're doing it over a period of time, for example, for 1 week or 2 weeks, you will be knowing in what state, what is your emotional state. Then when you're aware of your dominant emotional state, it will be easy for you to regulate or cut it down or bring it down. For example, today, among the 10 times, 7 times I'm in a negative emotion, 3 times good emotion. Tomorrow, if it's 8 times good and 2 times negative, then I'm progressing. Okay, just look out for that 1% improvement every day. And the next day it may dip down. It's okay. 4 times only good, happy emotion. It's okay. That may be a bad day for you. That's totally fine. The next day you have to gain track. So you did not journal it if you do not have time. At least time to time you can have the awareness. How do I feel? If there is some stress or anxiety, what is causing this stress? From where is the trigger coming? What made me feel so stressful? Okay, when you are aware of your emotional state, there starts the transformation. Then it's easy for you to regulate. But even then, it's not an easy journey, because we have trained our brains for these many years. There are a lot of synaptic connection. They say the neurons know when there's a new information or when there's a new emotion that's happening, there's a connection in our neurons. Okay, all the new nerve cells communicate to them. Okay, so what happens there? Already you have conditioned your mind or brain for certain emotions, sadness, whatever happens. Even the situation is going to be good, I'm going to feel sad because I've practiced this for years. So when that happens, no, you have to be aware, and then to change that pattern is going to be little difficult only. Again, consistency. Again, when you're consistent in doing it, when you're consistent in practicing few things that will regulate your emotion. For example, you have to learn coping mechanisms. Coping what? When you're down with some emotions, what you can do for cope. Some like listening to music, some will meditate, some will do yoga, some will journal it out, scribble it on paper, some will dance. So whatever it is, your coping, just fix your coping mechanism. And then you can do role plays. For example, if this is going to occur again in my life, if somebody is going to come and tell this comment to me, how do I respond to them in a very good manner next time? You can talk in front of the mirror, you can create a sentence also, and then you can practice it so that next time when it happens, you are not going just reacting in a undesirable way. Okay, you can role play that. So all these are few techniques where you are balancing your emotions. And one of my mentors always say, all our emotions are flowers in our own garden. So all emotions are important. It is a need actually. We cannot always be happy. We are inside a bubble. The bubble will burst one day. So it is not possible because all emotions are important. In that way, the time it takes to snap out of it is very, very important. For example, before emotional regulation, before learning emotional regulation, or before being aware of my emotions, if I am getting angry, I will carry on that for a week or for a month. I will be very timid. I'll not talk to someone. I'll give cold treatment to others. All these are my old pattern. Now, when I'm aware, when I'm emotionally regulated, when there's anger coming up, I know that I'm going to get angry. I might shout, yell, or do all that also, but I'll snap out of it in a 2 minutes or 2 hours or whatever it is. When the time reduces to snap out of it, it means we are regulated. It doesn't mean an emotional intelligence coach will never get angry, will never shout or yell. It happens to all of us. And the time we snap out of it is important. Yeah.
Definitely. Emotions are like that. I've given the example of the weather. Like, if we'll be in the same weather, like summer ही होता जाएगा तो फिर तो मजा ही नहीं है अगर हमें winter का मजा नहीं लेना. Same goes to emotions also. Of course, every emotions we need to experience. What you are trying to say is that we have to collect the evidence. Every time we have to own our feeling. After every hour, we have to own our feeling, how we are feeling. Are you feeling good? Are you feeling bad? And then we have to take the evidence. Like if you are not feeling good, why you are not feeling good? Okay, that means, so more you are aware. That's why I told you the 4 A's are the best method to change your life. If first is awareness, second is obviously acceptance, third is obviously adherence, and fourth is action. So this is really works a lot if you really wanted to work very seriously. And if you can't do it alone, please take a professional help. I always encourage people to take a professional help because I have taken a professional help. That's why my life got changed, and that's the only reason I have started this mission to help others, because I believe in alone you can't handle all those emotions when you are in a very deep low emotions. So you need someone who can help you. In your family member also sometimes can't help you because they are emotionally attached to you, but the professional can handle you more better way because they're not emotionally attached to you, and they can understand your emotion in a very practical way, that what exactly the deep problem is, the core problem. So Siraj is asking, so stories we tell ourselves can be just to keep us happy. It may not be true, right? Yes, it can. It's not essential. It can be true, but yes, when you communicate with the person and then you can understand the other person perspective, then also in a true way also you can change your story. Otherwise, a lot of time you can make an imaginary story also. So it depends on the situation to situation, right? There are a lot of time, like if you're expecting something and you're not getting, so why not you can talk to that person, especially with your close one like husband or parents or anyone, so that when you communicate, then you can make your story in a real story also, change your story in real. Otherwise, imaginary can also be, right? Priya, anything else you want to add? What she is asking?
Yeah, actually, the point is, if the story is disempowering, okay, if it is going to make you feel low, then you're going to attract more negativity. So instead, if you are going to create a story that is going to empower you, bring you out of that, then you can at least save whatever is coming in future instead of just pondering on things that went wrong. There's one beautiful example which one of my mentors used to share about this changing our story, okay, this FSFA, where there's a murder that happened, okay, a murder happened, a murderer, the people do not know who's the murderer, okay, and they feel sorry for the person who is dead, okay, and then the murderer, they are angry towards the murderer, and the feeling there, the emotion there is that they have to somehow catch that murderer and to send him to police. So now the fact is the murder only. The story created by the people who the crowd was that the person who died, okay, who is dead is they are empathetic towards that person, and then they are angry towards the person who killed him, okay. Now what happens, suddenly someone comes and tells the person who died, okay, who is dead, he's a terrorist, and then the person who killed is an army officer, okay. Now what happens is the story is same here. Story is, the fact is that the murder, but the meaning changed, the feeling changed. Now what people say, oh my god, he killed a terrorist, he saved our lives, we have to reward this army officer. So the feeling has changed, the story has changed, and the action, they started celebrating that army officer. The fact is same. So someone who asked this question, no, I forgot, I didn't see her name.
Raj.
Okay, so whatever it is, for anything that happens in our life, we create our perspective. My perspective will be different, and Arpita's perspective will be something else. Someone else will give some other perspective. So we have different perspectives for same fact, for same event, for same thing that happens in our lives. So what we're trying to do is, we are not trying to neglect the truth, but we are going to create a perspective that is empowering, so that that negative event is not impacting our future actions, our future behaviors. That's all we're trying to do. We are not trying to like, okay, this is happening, so I'm just going to change my mind and think that, okay, only good things are happening, it's positive only, I'm happy only. No, that's not going to do that. We're just going to change the perspective a bit, so that it is no more disempowering, it's only empowering. That's it.
Very true. Beautiful story you have made. That is wonderful. So Priya, I believe we have covered almost everything about the
Right.
emotions, and there's no other questions also. So how you can conclude this Insta Live on how to handle emotion in a few points, that what message you want to give, the beautiful message, so that people can get like instant, like, so how you conclude this Insta Live?
Okay, so as I always say, the first step in emotional well-being is that being aware of how we behave, how you feel, and all, and start sharing it with very trustworthy person. Do not become vulnerable to people who want to be against you. Just be aware, and then when you know that, practice mindfulness. Start doing mindfulness practices. Mindfulness is being in the present moment without judging anything. Okay, you could have done some mistake, but still you don't judge yourself. Be kind to yourself and be focused on whatever you do, be it small. For example, you're cutting your vegetables in the kitchen, or you're folding your laundry. Don't overlook small, tiny things that we do in our day-to-day life. Just be focused. That itself is a meditation for me, because I'm not a person who meditates. So for me, no, my everyday small things is a meditation. I just be mindful, become aware, live my life. And most of the time, we all suffer from this perfectionist syndrome. Okay, we don't see life as it is. We just want to be perfect only. Instead of solving that issue, no, we just want to be that perfect person in others' eyes. So I just want to embrace life, embrace us with all the imperfections we have, all the flaws we have. Then there's no stress at all. No stress comes, and then forgive. Grow your heart and forgive easily. Then you will become more emotionally balanced person. Practice self-love. Be kind to yourself. Okay, anything that you would prefer, any technique. Okay, practice self-love. Forgive you, forgive others. Then you'll become a more aware and more mindful person.
Very true. Beautifully, you have concluded. If I need to add something in this conclusion, I can say that everything is we all are made up of energy. Right? We are all made up of energy, and energy it can be like if more you be high vibration, more you feel positive, more you feel. So always try to raise your vibration, raise your energy, and that is only possible when you gratitude. Gratitude is a beautiful practice, because whenever we feel that, whenever we cry for what we don't have, and then we're starting comparing that person have, and then only we have trapped with this emotional problem, because we are start expecting and start. I'm not saying that you don't need to expect. Of course, you need to expect. You need to set your goal. You need to achieve your goal. But whatever you have, first you have to try to give gratitude that you have got everything. Gratitude practice every day. If you write gratitude, if morning, it's you do in your affirmation also, positive affirmation, and visualization also in positive way, then you automatically, every day you do practicing every day, then automatically you feel very balanced with your emotion, and you feel quite positive, and your energy is always in a high energy. So energy is everything. Always remember, everything is energy, and energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can be transferred from one state to another. So it is very important that you always keep your energy high. Whenever you feel low, you can transmit. If you can do it alone, good. If you can't, please take a professional help. I'm going to start my coaching batch, that will be like 30 days program from 15th of September, where I add lot of modules on this energy, on this emotional problem, so that more you practice, I'll handhold you along with you to practice it and make you channelize these all emotional problems. If you're really interested, you can join me. You can join Priya also. Like, we all are in this profession. We are learned from a mentor, and same thing we are going to give, share our learning with others. So of course, we are all in a mission to embrace more, spread more positivity and help other, handle other in a more positive way. So thank you so much, Priya, and thank you so much everyone who has joined. I'm really pray to God that you will get more success in your life, and you can help more people the way you are helping. So all the best for your life, dear.
Thank you so much, Arpita. Thank you so much for calling, inviting me, and I had a beautiful live with you. The questions were amazing, and I just spoke out of my heart. So thank you so much, and all the very best. Let's all your dreams come true, and let's spread, let's rise and shine.
Yes, just thank you. Shine like a diamond. Chalo, thank you so much, dear. Yeah. All the best. Bye. Take care. Bye.
Yeah, bye.